Okay, we're going to space. We are going to travel to space. I'm in my spaceship. I'm on my way to space. Oh, we're in space now. Here, let's try something. Control C, Control V. Oh, you guys might not have. Yeah, there we go. Let's fix the audio a little bit. Turn down the background music a little bit there, and turn up my microphone volume a little bit. I think we have a couple of missions here we could work on. I think I'm gonna do this one here, explore Kerbin, and the goal of this mission. We can just read the briefing. So the contract is called Explore Kerbin. The agent is Kerbin World First's Record Keeping Society. So I guess this is a company that they invite people to do things for the first time and then they pay you for it. So here's the briefing. As a consequence of a somewhat worse than average accident at Kerbin World First's Record Keeping Society, we've been forced to look for some outside help. We still have unchecked items on our list of records to break and would like to change that. It's time for you to take another step in advancing the frontier. So I've been doing a series of missions with the Kerbin World First's Record Keeping Society. I think let's take a look at the archives. So the very first mission we did with them was escaping the atmosphere, and we've kind of progressed to returning, so escaping the atmosphere, orbiting Kerbin, returning to space from orbiting Kerbin. We went to the moon. We did a flyby of the moon. We launched our first vessel. We gathered scientific data. But the next thing they want us to do is to rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbin. So we'll be in a state of continuous free fall with another object in space is the goal of this. And usually what I do is I pair up this mission with one of these rescue missions. So poor Jonfield Kerman is floating in space. He's in orbit. I have no idea how he got there, because as far as I know, I'm running the only space program on this planet, and I know that because in the archives, like I'm the one who's going to the space for the first time. I'm the one who's going into orbit. But somehow, poor Jonfield Kerman has found himself in orbit of the planet Kerbin, and this is where I come in. I'm gonna save him, and we're gonna return him to the planet. And I have a couple of missions here that I might do later tonight, where we have to position some satellites in specific orbits of the moon. So first of all, let's see what we're up against here. So it looks like he's in looks like Jonfield's in low Kerbal Orbit, periapsis of 81,000 meters, 92,000 meters, 92 kilometers. So he's on the other side of the planet right now. So here's what we'll do. Let's make a brand new ship. I'm gonna call it the Emma 2, or maybe the Sabrina 2. I think we'll call it the Emma 2. So go ahead. This is an existing ship, and I'm just gonna modify it. So I used this one to go to the moon. So we don't need quite as powerful of a rocket just to get to Low Kerbal Orbit. Low Kerbal Orbit. Orbit of Kerbin is the name of the planet. We're on the planet Kerbin. It's the analog to the Earth in this video game. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding an unmanned probe module, which will let us control this the spacecraft without needing a pilot. So we're going to be piloting the spacecraft from the planet. Somebody at mission control will be piloting this. I'm going to get rid of the science things because we don't really need them, but we do need this antenna. The other thing I will add is a battery. We should add a solar panel or two so that we can generate our own power. I'll just do 2. That should be sufficient. We can get rid of the science units. So currently, I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and add a couple boosters on this lower stage. I'll get rid of this. So we have 1, 2, 3. I think actually I have, yeah, we have better fuel tanks. So I'm using like these medium-sized fuel tanks, and we actually have a longer one available to us. So this will decrease our total part count. Let's change the colors here and make it a little bit more stylish. At least in my opinion, this looks a little bit more stylish. It's important to be stylish when you're going to live. It's also important to be safe, but it's more important to be stylish. So these are just some solid state boosters. I think it'll be handy to have a couple of these on the lower stage here. This engine is plenty powerful, but it'll make me feel a little bit more comfortable having a couple of boosters here on the bottom, on the lower stage. And we can definitely, oh, these are on here kind of crooked. And we definitely don't need to use full power on these boosters. I'm gonna use the thrust limiter here, so it's only gonna be applying 50% power. And what I'm looking at over here on the right is the thrust to weight ratio, which a thrust to weight ratio of greater than 1 will mean that the craft is able to overcome gravity and is able to move upwards to space, which is where we're going. I'm also gonna put a couple basic fins here on the bottom. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to orient this way, and I'm going to put the fins here. I'll explain why later if I remember. But basically this is the launch pad over here, way over here in the distance. The ship is going to slide onto the launch pad. It's going to keep the same orientation. And we happen to be looking east right now. We're looking directly east. And so this ship is only ever going to travel east. And these fins will, I think this orientation of the fins, I was going to put them over here, but the fins wouldn't be as effective because it'd be tipping into the fins, and they would basically not be doing anything unless I were to rotate the ship. So I'm going to increase, I think I want at least 50% power. Well, let's go up to 75. So this looks pretty good. This is a thrust to weight ratio of 1.49. I think I will lower the thrusts. Like, I usually shoot for about 1.3 personally. It really doesn't matter too much for this kind of a mission. So I think this looks good. We're not going very far. Like, this isn't a very powerful antenna, but it should be plenty powerful enough for our purposes. So I could launch this directly from the vehicle assembly building, the VAB. But that'll put a pilot in it, which I don't want to do. Because basically we're going to be launching this ship with an empty cockpit. And then I'm going to rendezvous with, I forget his name already. But we're going to rendezvous, and then he's going to travel the ship. He's going to fly the ship back home. So, and this pod only has room for one Kerbal. So I could launch right now and get a nice sunrise launch. But I think the better idea is... Because remember, we need a rendezvous with this craft. So I'm going to wait until he's a little bit closer. So we're currently time warping. We're going into the future. Get a nice sunrise here. But I'm going to wait until he's about right here. Maybe like right here. And then we'll go ahead and launch. What we're going to do is we're going to launch. We're going to try to meet him at the same time in the same location. That's what rendezvousing means. Meeting something or someone at a specific time and place. Because it's not enough to be at the same place, you have to be there at the same time. And it's not enough to be there, well... time and space. Two important concepts when it comes to space, light, and just life in general. The nice thing about so instead of using the boosters, I could have just added more fuel tanks. But the nice thing about, like, one advantage of the solid state boosters is they're much cheaper than traditional liquid fuel systems. So that's one reason to choose the solid state over like more liquid fuel tanks. The liquid fuel has advantages over the solid as well. So we're actually slowing down a little bit, which is okay. Just drinking some green tea. I'm not on mute right now. So this is looking pretty good. So we're at about 10,000. We're at about 10 kilometers. So we're gonna start tipping the spacecraft, and this is where the fins start to become helpful. So I went ahead and turned on the aerodynamic forces overlay, so we can see these fins, because we're kind of moving up at an angle. Like these blue arrows are showing these are force vectors. So this is helping the ship to move into the direction that it's facing, basically. So what we're doing is we're tipping east. Because when you go to space, it's not enough to just go up. You're basically in a perpetual... So when you're orbiting a body in space, you're in a state of perpetual free fall. Because you're moving forward fast enough to miss the planet. Or whatever you're orbiting, and you're missing it over and over and over again. So we need to start adding some horizontal speed, basically. It's not enough to just go up. We also have to go forward. But it looks like Jonfield's going at about 23,000 meters per second. And we're only going about 900 meters per second at the moment. So not only do we need to be in the same location at the same time, we also need to be going the same speed, the same velocity. So not just the same speed, but the same velocity, because velocity has a direction component to it. Velocity is direction and a speed component put together, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and drop our middle stage here, our bottom stage, I guess. Just noticed this is not quite set up correctly. So we had a parachute applying at the same time as this decoupler. So we might be able to, yeah, so this is our target. So it's above us, Jonfield is above us and behind us, and he's going much faster than us too. But it looks like we're gonna be meeting up with them. We're gonna be almost... This is incredible. Okay. This looks great. Like, look at this. So we're gonna be here, and he's gonna be here. So this is looking really good. So what I'll go ahead and do now is just time warp a little bit. So at this point, I'm going to start speeding up. Need to add a lot more velocity to our... Oops. a lot more velocity to our ship here. So we have maximum thrust right now. See, he's moving much faster than us. He's catching up to us. We're also not quite oriented the same. So what I'll do... I think this is what I want to do. Yeah, let's just get rid of the... Oh. So, target. So basically I want this guy to line up with this guy. If you look at our orbit now, we pretty much have the same orbit now. So what I could do at this point is I could just wait. I could wait until this point in time. The problem is, here's the problem. Remember, this is an unmanned spacecraft, so we are piloting this from the Kerbal Space Center. So we're gonna lose control of the spacecraft pretty soon. Like once we lose radio contact, because we need basically a direct line of sight with KSP. So if I wait all the way until this point, we're not gonna have control of the spacecraft, which is actually probably not a big deal. But in the interest of time, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna shoot this rocket directly toward our friend here. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna make us intersect it'll make us intersect sooner. So I'm adding velocity toward our friend Jonfield's pod, but he is currently stuck in space inside. So we're gonna meet up with him in just less than a minute. Or actually a little over a minute. And you'll notice our orbits are no longer aligned. Like this spaceship is actually on a trajectory to crash into the planet at the moment, but that's okay. So as we get closer here, because right now this is kind of dangerous. We are traveling at a high relative speed directly toward this pod. So I need to start bleeding off some of this speed. This is what I'm doing now. But also I'm trying to get this crosshair to align directly with our target's, the target crosshair. And that's basically making our orbits equivalent. Putting me on the exact same path as my rendezvous target. So we are at exactly a kilometer, a little less than a kilometer away from our target. We're in orbit now too. You can tell by the camera changing. So at this point I can actually flip back and forth between my two spacecraft. So here's Jonfield. He looks happy to see us. Where's, oh, there it is. So look, check this out. But I don't want to crash. Yeah, here we go. Hey, buddy. We're here to save you. Alright, so here's what we'll do. We'll switch over to the other ship. Before I get out, what I usually like to do is I rename the vessel. So it's Jonfield's pod, but I usually like to change it to debris because this is completely useless to me at this point. It's just floating, it's just some debris floating around in space. So I like to classify it as such. Oh, that's annoying. So now I can't control it. Alright, so here's what I'll have to do. I couldn't switch focus to it because it was now debris. I didn't actually realize that would happen. So here's what we'll have to do. There's probably a better way to do this. But so the debris, so I can do this guy and do fly. Then what I can do is I can go into EVA, so that's extravehicular activity. And I can now just fly over. Well, maybe, there we go. Needed to turn on RCS. I'm not sure what RCS stands for actually. Something control system. But yeah, I'm just gonna, look how happy I am. Yay, you're finally gonna go home. Oh. We can actually go right over here. And go ahead and grab the ladder here. So we're gonna be going in upside down, okay. Bored. Yeah, let's go home. So one thing I'll do just to be safe is I will just go ahead and blast this direction. I just don't want to accidentally crash into the pod while I'm time warping. So we're going to be 300 meters away from each other, and then we're going to be 1.5 kilometers away from each other. So we are not on a path to collide, essentially. Here's the debris. So look, we're on different orbits now. Yeah, we could actually... Yeah, it's way over there now. 3 kilometers away from us. But we're gonna meet up over here too. In a little bit. So let's go home. Our home is right here, where this flag is. So we're going all the way around the planet. And at this point, we can go ahead and... Well, first things first, let's unset this target. Simplify things a little bit. And now basically, to get back home, we just need to eliminate some speed from our orbit. So rather than like pointing the ship directly down and thrusting, it's actually better to just eliminate some of this speed here. So I'm pointing away from my direction of travel, and I'm applying some force using my rocket thrusters, and my orbit is changing, as you can see. So even though it looks like we're going to land way over here, that's not where we're actually going to land. Because once we enter the atmosphere is going to start slowing us down. And we should land a little bit closer. Like ideally we land right at home, right at the Space Center. So we're currently we're in the atmosphere at this point, just barely. But the atmosphere is slowing us down right now, just very, very subtly. We can slow down even more. We have quite a bit of fuel left. Probably gonna end up landing like right here is my guess. Which isn't perfect, but it's okay. Nobody's perfect. So I do have a separator right here, so I could separate the fuel tank and engine from our pod here if I wanted to. But when you recover the spacecraft, it actually recovers some funds, some money. So if we're able to recover the entire thing, we'll get more money back. So I usually try to recover the whole thing here, which is why I have the radial chutes. I could just commit to separating and just get rid of the radial chutes if I wanted to, and just use the main chute. But at this point, we're out of fuel. I think I will go ahead and just separate the lower stage here. Bye-bye. So because this is heavier, because the fuel tank and the engine is heavier than us, it's maintaining more of its speed, and we're slowing down more than the engine and the fuel tank. There's our debris still in orbit. Here's some more debris now. The debris will actually disintegrate. when it hits the water. And it'll no longer be debris, it'll just be gone. But this is where we launched from. Kerbal Space Center. So yeah, we're gonna be splashing down, probably over here. Go ahead and activate the chutes. Oh. Be pretty sick if we... No, we're not gonna land on the land, but we'll be pretty close. Just right off the shore. Activate our main chutes. Now. So this guy's a pilot, so we could actually have a little fun. If I do a crew report right now, it says like this is so EVA report. Sorry, we're flying over Kerbin's water. This is the most precarious situation, but we actually had that was kind of scary. When the chutes activated, it slowed down the ship. But I actually have a parachute here. So what I could do, let go, activate my parachute. And once it deploys, I think I can actually fly around. This is something they added to the game relatively recently. And then I'll be able to control this guy. It would have been cool to like fly over here. There we go. So now I can actually fly around. And my ship is somewhere up there. So we're gonna try to go all the way home. I don't think we'll make it. You could go check out this anomaly over here. There's something over here. Do you guys see that? There's a little black dot. A little black dot. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it to the land. It'd be really cool if we made it over to the anomaly, so we could check it out. I don't think we're gonna quite make it there. I am time warping right now. 4 times speed. So we'll change our angle a little bit. We're pulling up. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna barely make it to the land. This is pretty cool. This is a pretty good mission. It went really smoothly. Now I wanna go check out this anomaly. It looks quite interesting. From here. It's like some kind of monolith, perhaps. Our ship may have landed by now. Looks like it has. The Emma 2. We're actually traveling pretty fast right now. Stuck the landing. Alright, so we can run, we can time warp. There's no like stamina component in this game, so I can sprint forever if I wanted to. Sprinting at 1.6 meters per second. But I'm also time warping 4 times speed, so it looks really fast. Are we actually? Okay, we're getting pretty close. How far away is our ship? So we're gonna run like a kilometer right now. Just going out for a kilometer run after we spent who knows how long in space. You would be very tired after going to space, being recovered, and just going through the whole like the whole re-entry and stuff. Like there's a lot of forces being applied to your body. Like you would not be able to run a kilometer, I don't think. But yeah, check this thing out. What is this thing? What is this? What is that? Oh, you can actually climb it? I didn't know that. Come on, climb it. Wow, I didn't know you could... Oh, I think you can climb anything. Oh. Quite interesting. I have no idea what this is here for. But we're gonna claim it as our own. I'm gonna get going. I need to go put the kids down to sleep. But thanks for joining me on this rescue mission. Jonfield's monolith. Thanks for watching, Twitch. See you next time. Bye.